Man, when you take Michael Bay out of the equation, Transformers is awesome. What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Bumblebee, the newest film from director Travis Knight and stars Hailee Steinfeld, John Cena, Jorge Lendeborg Jr., and of course Bumblebee. So imagine a world where Michael Bay isn't involved with Transformers. He has a producer credit, but he's not directly involved. You bring in the guy who directed Kubo and the Two Strings, you get rid of all the non-necessity crap, and you go back in time. You go to the 80s, you get the Gen 1 Transformers, and you go for it. You create a world that everybody wanted from the beginning, that everybody waited 11 years to get, and now we have it. And it's a story of Bumblebee. And what Bumblebee is, he traveled from Cybertron. Cybertron's in the middle of a war. He goes to Earth, which they want to relocate to, to secure their colony. And why he's there, he gets his voice ripped out, and he basically gets abandoned and left for dead. And then the character played by Hailee Steinfeld discovers him at a junkyard. They become friends. And then we get the story of how Bumblebee has to save humanity from these two other Decepticons. And this movie is a complete thank God that they went back to the basics of Transformers, because after the insanity that was Michael Bay's Transformer franchise, that was stupid and disgusting and just masturbation jokes and dick jokes and balls and John Turturro and Shia LaBeouf. This movie is a breath of fresh air. And you know what? I really enjoyed this movie. It's not perfect. They still have problems with the adult actors and some of the human actors, but you can forgive it because they're not nearly as bad as Sam's parents in the Transformer franchise. This movie is basically a buddy movie. It's Hailee Steinfeld's character Charlie and Bumblebee. Bumblebee has no memory of why he's there. He's been in the pound for so long. And this movie resembles E.T. a lot. With E.T. has been left, when E.T. was stranded, he becomes friends with somebody, and that's what you get here. And that's what we want from Transformers. We want a Transformer that feels like what we felt in the 80s, even though it's updated for the new technology with the new visual effects and so on and so forth. It really feels like that Travis Knight and the producers and the creative team behind this movie really cares about the franchise. They want to create a world that the fans want, and that's what we got here. I mean, this movie, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the way this movie starts out to the way it ends to the characters, you see all your favorite Gen 1 characters. This movie is a lot of fun. The action is toned down. The way the Transformers transform is really simple. Bumblebee, it really looks like Bumblebee. He turns into a VW Bug, which he was in the original TV series. When you do see some of the Autobots and Decepticons, they're simplified. They're planes and vehicles, and the main Autobot is pretty much Bumblebee, and Bumblebee is like a dog, which is not necessarily a bad thing. He's like a comfort companion to Hailee Steinfeld, who has just lost her father, which is one of the problems I have with this movie. Is there always seems to be that lost dead relative that has to affect the child in these types of movies, and it doesn't make it a bad thing, but this movie is harping so much on ET and the Amblin of the 80s that it does lose its luster a little bit. But this from that, we get a fun little film about friendship, a fun little film, and it's such a fun movie. It's not going to be like my top 10 movie of the year, but this is a movie you go to have fun. This movie is under 2 hours long. It's not bloated. It has a lot to say about friendship, and it just feels like a fun movie. It's a movie you're going to go to for the whole family and just have fun. That's all we want in a Transformers movie. The action sequences are, the one thing I can't complain about Transformers in general is the action sequences most of the time, like in Dark of the Moon, in the original Transformers, when there wasn't as many Autobots and Decepticons bashing each other out. This one, there's like two Decepticons and there's Bumblebee, and when they fight, everything makes sense. The shots are, perfectly set. You have a bad guy in John Cena, kind of, who is kind of over the top, but he's there just kind of just a plot device. And then you have Hailee Steinfeld, who becomes friends with Jorge, his character, and they develop a friendship. And he learns about the Autobot and the Bumblebee, and they learn a little bit about Cybertron. And I can't really complain. The parts that do bother me are they're small and nitpicky. I just don't see any faults in just enjoying a movie like this and just going into it. And I think Travis Knight has done a nice job. He's done like what Brad Bird did when he went over to Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. There's something about an animation director and the way they shoot animation that really carries over to live action. And it really shows here, and it's really fascinating to watch. And I just like the idea of being able to come over to a different medium and be successful at it. And like I said, this movie also has a lot of some nostalgia trips, between the music that plays in the movie and the different things you see. Like there's Mr. T cereal, and there's Tab, and there's a really nice nod to like the Transformers movie, and to like the 80s TV show itself. And then there's a really good mid-credit scene. And I hope this movie is like a complete reboot, even though it has this nods to the other Transformers movies, because this is what we want and this is where it should go. They should keep it low key while being expensive, because this costs a lot of money to make because of the special effects. And I have to give credit the fact that the people behind this Transformers franchise really settled down to make a more personal, more fun, more entertaining film than what we've ever gotten from Michael Bay. And I like Michael Bay, I like The Rock, I like, Armageddon, but he ruined this franchise. And when I was trying to tell my friends about this movie, about how pretty entertaining it was, how it was a breath of fresh air, they didn't believe me. And I just want to go and say that if you guys are on the fence about this movie, definitely go check it out, because it's definitely worth seeing, and you'll have a lot of fun, and you won't feel like you've wasted your money for 2.5 hours instead of 2 hours, which is this movie. So, but that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Bumblebee. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Email enlapolo1138@gmail.com. If you want to, go ahead and comment below. Tell me if you're interested in this movie, what you want to see out of this movie. Tell me what you think of the trailers, because like I said, this movie is a breath of fresh air for a Transformers movie. And like I said, you're going to go in, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're not going to waste your money. So, but with that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.